What are Flask Blueprints, exactly? I have read the official Flask documentation on blueprints and even 1 or 2 blog posts on using them. I've even used them in my web app, but I don't completely understand what they are or how they fit into my app as a whole. How is it similar to an instance of my app, but not quite? The documentation is comprehensive, but I seek a layman explanation or an enlightening analogy to spark it for me. I was sufficiently perplexed when a colleague asked me to explain a Flask blueprint to them that I elected to ask here.
A blueprint is a template for generating a section of a web application. You can think of it as a mold. You can take the blueprint and apply it to your application in several places. Each time you apply it, the blueprint will create a new version of its structure in the plaster of your application. This is a simple mold for working with trees. It says that any application that deals with trees should provide access to its leaves, its roots, and its rings by year. By itself, it is a hollow shell. It cannot route, it cannot respond until it is impressed upon an application. Once it is created, it may be impressed on the application by using the register_blueprint function. This impresses the mold of the blueprint on the application at the locations specified by URL_prefix.
As pointed out in a comment by @Devasish, this article provides a good answer. This URL. Quoting from the article. An example of this would be Facebook. If Facebook used Flask, it might have blueprints for the static pages, i.e. signed out home, register, about, etc., the dashboard, i.e. the news feed, profiles, /Robert/about and /Robert/photos, settings/security and /settings/privacy, and many more. These components all share a general layout and styles, but each has its own layout as well. This is a very good interpretation, especially the part, if Facebook used Flask. It gives us a concrete situation to visualize how Blueprint actually works.
I too just stumbled up this myself and was confused after reading a few of the documentation sources. At first I thought it was like C#/Java OOP interface implementation style where you define some stuff but don't have to worry about it implementation details till later. However, I stumbled up this page which puts it in very layman's and quite hilarious present-day events terms. This URL. Essentially, one benefit that is mentioned in the link and provides me a clear idea of its real-world usage is that I can effectively logically organize/divide the app into several parts that only need to be concerned with its own affairs. So it provides some designed encapsulation. Edit. I'm currently using it to segment out my web app's code. It was a good decision too because I found the lead designer wants to make the front end in Vue.js, which I haven't used yet, but looking at its project files would look far more messy and probably provide many naming collision-prone instances due to files with similar names.
For bigger projects, all your code shouldn't be in the same file. Instead, you can segment or split bigger codes into separate files, mostly based on functionality, like bricks forming a wall. A simple Flask app. A blueprint Flask app. A blueprint in the above app.
If you want to support the channel, please consider liking and subscribing.